and I want to talk to you about the death of Queen Elizabeth II. And how can I say it? Because it's I mean, most people are most people are sad. Most people are feeling something, and of course, some people are going to talk to you about colony, slavery, blah 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 blah. I understand where they come from, but that's not where I come from. I had this feeling. So I was I remember where I was when the Princess Diana died. And I know where I was yesterday when I learned about the news. I was just finishing with the backup of my drive. I finished downloading the 400 gigabytes. Took another hour to unzip everything, and I just copy all the contents of the backup to the new drive, and I replaced the old drive after formatting it with the new drive, and I went on as if nothing happened. But then I have a talk with Amazon, and they told me, hey, you can bring us the defective drive since you're still on a warranty, and we'll just refund you the price of the drive. So I was like, okay, perfect. So I went to pick up a drop-off place, and as I was dropping off the old drive to send to Amazon, the woman at the counter tells me, oh, there it is, she's gone. And I look on the side, and yeah, it was saying it was, there it is, she's gone, 96. And the way I felt was really sad, as if it was a family member. Well, I was not like, oh my God, because listen, I'm not from the UK. I'm a French citizen. I live in Portugal, and I was born in Congo. And I'm not particularly a fan of the UK because of I don't like the weather there. It's not the place where I'm like, oh, let me go spend the weekend in London. It's really not. It's not a place where I'm all the time. I'd rather go to Marbella or Miami, or Paris. But the reason why, so I talked to Buddy yesterday. I had him on the phone, and I asked him, how do you feel? How does it make you feel? And he was like, I don't know how to say, but damn, it felt like an auntie that I knew all my life was gone. Like, I feel like some sadness, and it reminds me of my mom's passing as well. So that's what Buddy telling me that, and I was like, yeah, I felt the same thing. And then, listen, we were both on the phone, and we were both like having teary eyes, and I was watching, the reaction of the people in England, and I was just feeling empathic for them, because the idea that you have like 4 generations of people who were born in the UK and they had the same queen. So you had people, their father was born and dead and died, or their grandfather, like family members, and they only knew one queen. Some people lived their whole life, because she lived a long life. She lived a long life of service to her country of 96 years. And she served for 70 years. She's seen wars. She's been in army. She's etc. etc. And when at a point what it did to me, and how I understood how I felt. I just felt that sadness that I could not really explain why, just because she's been part of our lives, whether we care or not, or we like her or not. Like she's been one of those figures that are just there, and that have been there for when you were born. She was there, and then she's always been there as the Queen of England. And it just felt, oh, like she's gone to rest now. And then I also felt about it's been 25 years as well since Mobutu Sese Seko Kukumbenu was Abanga, the Marshal of Zaire, my country, passed as well, and we're celebrating that. And then I understood why I feel like this, because I remember when the Pope Jean-Paul II passed, transitioned, I had the same exact feeling of, oh, he's gone. And then there was a new one. Was it? I think before Francisco there was another one. I think there was Benoit 16. Listen, I could not care less about Benoit 16, and I could not care less about the actual one. I don't care about them, because to me, the only one that is like the religious figure that was Jean Paul II. The rest, I'm like, eh. And I believe I'm one of these people that really care for great leaders, not in the terms of did you agree with them or did you disagree with them, or were they good, bad. It's just that the leaders of yesterdays are all going instinct by the laws of nature. They are just transitioning, and because time is passing by, and 96 is a long time, and as they all go, and I'm 48 now, at this age, I just feel that the leaders of today are not great leaders, and the people of yesterday, and I understand it's a different world, right? But the leaders of yesterday, you like them or not, but they felt to me as leaders. They felt to me as, listen, you might not like Margaret Thatcher, might not like Jacques Chirac, you might not like François Mitterrand, you might not like I don't know, Ronald Reagan, like JFK, like the romance of the great leaders like Mobutu, all these people who you might criticize their actions or whatever, they were still men with exceptional destinies that for me were inspiring. And in the people of today cannot see this, because they are just all used to the mediocrity of tweets, and they have cowards leading them who are scared of tweets. Listen, if I was the president of any country, I wouldn't give a damn about some advisor telling me, yo, listen, the polls are, I don't care about the polls. I'm here to lead people into where they need to go. and I've been elected for that. Yeah, but people are tweeting. Listen, this is not real life. I don't care about tweets. We are in a society where you can say something or a tweet and people can cancel you on Twitter, and like you lose your job, you lose your possibility to lead people to a greater place and to take the tough decisions to take people to the next level. Like those people are the people who took decisions to be in war, to get out of war, to fascinate the world where it is, right? It's the same as Apple with Steve Jobs. He was not the greatest person humanly. With maybe his family member, he has one daughter he was estranged with, co-workers were suffering, but this is a person that took this company from where it was, and even he's the co-creator of the company, would never have done that company without him, because he was somebody who would drive you to excellence. Today, people are just driven by their emotion. I feel, so I am. When I come from an era where I think, so I am. We don't have thinkers now. The people who are on the internet, the people who are in the YouTube comments, the people who are on the everywhere, the conversations are not conversations of people who think, of people who lead. The conversations are just conversations of people who feel, and they just want to react because they feel something. You say something that it's true. If somebody feels offended by the truth, they will come and say, I don't feel that is the truth. Well, the sky is blue because the color blue is blue. So if you look up, it's blue. I'm offended. These are the people we have now. These are the people we have to talk to. And those people are becoming the leaders. They are the people we electing, because the people who are electing are also electing people with their ass. So we have people who are elected because of their names, because of the party, and you have people who are in power just because they want to be elected and they want to stay there. So they all criticize African presidents or African, whatever they call them. They all criticize African leaders because African leaders stay for life, just like kings, and at the same time they do everything to stay in place forever, and they don't work for their countries, they don't work for their people, they work for the polls, and they work to be re-elected because they make money from being elected. And these are the people who are leading us today. And this doesn't mean that the people who were before didn't do mistakes. They did a lot of mistakes. They thought that the world belonged to them. They were there thinking that colonizing other people or enslaving them was something normal. But still, those people were figures that felt larger than normal humans. And sadly, we are now in a world where people want to believe that we are all equal. People want to believe that nobody should be over you, and nobody should respect like the state authority, frontiers. Nobody should respect nothing. That I'm here. I'm an executive. I'm somebody who generated millions of euros, and I have people who maybe never made more than $10,000 in their life, who come talk to me as if they were on my level. This is the world of today, and those people believe that I can talk to you because I feel something or you said something. Listen, you cannot talk to me. We are not on the same level. We didn't do the same thing. I revolutionized musical genres. I revolutionized Zouk without being from the West Indies, Kizomba without being from Angola, Coupé Décalé without being from Ivory Coast. I revolutionized those genres. I revolutionized the way Zouk people sell music, modernize selling techniques. I'm the first African to ever sell 100,000 MP3s on iTunes. I'm the first ever. Behind Kofi, nobody from my country has 3 Cora Awards. Nobody from my country was ever nominated for the MTV Awards, etc., etc. I don't talk about these things because I don't care. I'm not for the hubris. But sometimes people talk to me as if we were on the same level, and we're not. The difference is everybody has been taught now that, oh, we the same. We all whatever, and whatever you feel you are, and if you feel you a rabbit, you are. It's okay. It's about how you feel. And the leaders of today, they are caving for all these idiots that. And listen, I'm not saying that people don't have the right to feel something. You have the right to feel something, but facts are facts. And we are in a world where people are against facts because nobody just wants to work hard to become what they are. They want to hate those who work hard and be rewarded for that. And they are being rewarded for that. And all the people who are there listen, look at Ukraine versus Russia. Europe is shooting itself in the belly, in the foot, in the balls by doing sanctions just for righteous reasons, but just because the leaders are reacting as the people on Twitter or the people in the comments. That's not leadership. When you are a leader, you have to ask yourself, hey, if I do these sanctions, are my people going to suffer? I have to think ahead of time. This is leadership. Listen, the thing that the people who lead us are doing today, none of us who have children would do. The decisions that they take as if we were on Twitter, and they just need to react quick to the information, and they have journalists, you have a whole media circus that force you to react quick. And sometimes I would like a president when they say, okay, so what are you going to do about this? Well, we're going to see. We have to think, we have to do this, and we have to think through. We have to be 10 steps ahead of the game. And everybody's just trying to have you say something. And if you tweet something, everybody goes crazy about it because everybody needs to sell you information all the time. So this whole social media, everything that is going on right now is turning the world into a place where people cannot lead because you have a bunch of Twitter specialists who are specialists of everything. Psychology, geopolitics, everybody know everything. And everybody's a Ukrainian out of a sudden, and you have platforms like YouTube who are, if you criticize any of the action from COVID to Ukraine to whatever, you can have your whole 5,000 videos on your channel disappear. And people think it's normal. All these people who say, I want to live, I want to be able to live, they don't want the people who disagree with them to live and to be able to talk as well. They just want a world where it's just people who feel and people who are angry all the time. And there's no space here for leadership. Listen, you might in 2014, I'm digressing from the subject, but I'm coming back. In 2014, when you had the Maidan Accords in Ukraine, and France and Europe and the US were supposed to have all these different people that form Ukraine. So you have some Polacks, you have some Russians, and you have some Ukrainians. It's actually, Ukraine is a mix of 33% of all this, but the pro-Russian got removed from power, and now it was Europe that is obsessed with expanding, and the pro-Europeans and the more Western, the more Ukrainian side were starting to act like anti-Russian for years and years and years, and everybody didn't care, and it led us to where we are today. And now we have those same people and their leader Zelensky, who's telling people to be anti-Russian, not anti-Russian the government, but Russians in general. So now you have people, they're not saying, listen, Russian people should not be allowed to travel in Europe, all Russian people. And you have the Europeans that are following like idiots. And listen, that's exactly why the accords were made in the first place, to stop these people from being xenophobic towards their countrymen. And now you have all Europe following because of the war. And this is not the subject is not about this, but when you think about great leaders, they just think ahead of people, and they're not scared to be hated by people. They're not scared of tweets. They're not scared of all that. Listen, you can say what you want about Mobutu, but back in Mobutu land, Zaire was one country, united with names that were not French names. Even if he was born Laurent Désiré, he decided that every Zaire citizen should have a Zairean name and not a European name. Small details that, listen, even if after that he lost his way, no problem. But those were figures. And everybody that went after him don't have that stature. They don't have that thing where you say, oh my God, like, and you just, people just want to build statues just to pretend that those people are at the same level where they're not. And I'm not saying that all the people is a better leader. I'm just saying that the leaders we have today, and when I realized that the Queen Elizabeth was one of the last great leaders, somebody who, for the UK citizen and for all of us, she's just been there. She's 15 prime ministers, I don't know how many American presidents, French presidents, etc. And she was just there. And when those people go, and I look at King Charles III, and it doesn't feel the same. And maybe this is why I felt like this sadness and this feeling, like I was really sad and teary. Like I was like, maybe it's the last great leader that is gone. Now it's just gonna be us with all the people who believe that politics is communication, and they do everything for the polls and just to, and they're not real leaders. And listen, I have no admiration for none of the people I'm talking about. I just feel that I don't know, maybe it's just because it's the leader figures from my generation that I feel this way, and that maybe in 20 years the people who are 30 today will be talking about Macron and Boris Johnson and I don't know, Trump and whoever as, oh my God, those were amazing leaders, etc. Listen, I even as a French citizen, like Jacques Chirac, and listen, like I met him. I met when I was a kid. He would come to the house to work with my father when my father was ambassador of Zaire. So, and listen, I know for a fact that, yeah, and I'm not gonna say stuff that I cannot say for your security and mine. But yeah, I know some that those people were different type of politician, and the laws were permitting things to be a little more opaque. And I know at that time there was the France Afrique and all. I understand the thing, but the leaders back then, they were just different. Listen, they back then we had what we call the real politic, meaning that listen, we might not agree with the way the Russians think, or the way the Congolese, the Zairian thinks, or the way these people think, or, and listen, some Portugal was still a dictatorship until 74, like, but the people who were leading, not only they knew what they were talking about, they had a certain level of instruction, a certain level of I know what I'm doing. And the ones of today, they have no clue what they're talking about, because most of them, listen, I'm gonna put you in this thing just because you helped me win this thing. And then you have people who are taking decision for your health, and they lie without a problem, and they never have to be held accountable, and etc. And yeah, listen, at a point, like, listen, a leader of in the situation we are today, right? The leaders of yesterday would have not agreed with the war, and they would have supported Ukraine as they should have, but they would not have stopped buying gas from Russia for righteous, virtuous reasons. They would not never have done that, because somebody would have told them, well, if we stop buying the gas and we stop paying for the gas, the winter is going to be horrible, Germany is going to be fucked, this, etc. The leaders of today, they took the decision in 5 days without thinking, and from Europe. And listen, here in Portugal, nobody asked us for our opinion. France, no, we just like people, just like, yeah, let's do this way, and boom. And no matter, no, this is the reason why most people are losing trust in Europe, because you have a bunch of people who are there taking decisions for us. And those people, listen, I'm a pro-European, okay? But most of these people are not elected, and they take decisions that are supranational without being elected. I want us to elect the president of Europe. All the European people go vote by internet. We elect the different people who are doing the thing, because listen, all the decisions that are being taken now stupidly will only create one thing. All these people in all the countries are about to be voted out, because people are going to be like, listen, wait a minute. You are telling me that I'm not going to have any gas and enough electricity, and you want me to take a shower only every 3 days and all this and that because of your decisions, where you have a driver, you take private planes, etc. Like, wait, why? Because we have to support Ukraine. Like, did we support the other countries? No. So why this one? And those people, yeah, they're just trying to swim, and yeah, they're just reacting to tweets. Listen, trust me, in my line of work, as a musician, as a creator, as a businessman, I had to deal with all types of people: musicians, singers, writers, executive producer, business, label, music records owners, etc., etc., who would come to me and trying to explain to me how life works, how music should work, how everything I'm doing is wrong. And I would look everybody like this, as an equal with respect. But in my head, I was like, I'm not talking to you peasant. You're not on my level mentally. I am on a higher level. This is why I know you guys will fail in 10 years. And all of them failed 10 years after, because I was listening to what they were telling me. And I was like, these guys don't understand that MP3 is coming from here and fast internet is coming from there. And when those two will meet each other, a song will be able to be downloaded on the internet as 4 megabytes, and it's going to be quick. And everybody was replying to me, yeah, but there's only 100 megabytes in a hard drive. Where are they going to put the songs? Well, in the future, you're gonna have computers with 1,000 megabyte multiplied by 100, and it's gonna be called the gigabytes. And over the gigabytes, there's gonna be the terabytes. And they were looking at me like I was talking Chinese, and I was like, listen, when you're gonna have a drive with terabytes and your little MP3 will be 4 megabytes, all your CD sales will disappear because people will be able to download from the internet the songs. I was saying this to people in 96, and all these people were looking at me like, yeah, look at this African guy. Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And today, all these people call me all the time crying, because all these people were no real leaders. The only leader in the room most of the time was me. And even the artists that were supposed to follow me, because they were emotional, half of them, if not 60% of them, they didn't follow me. They were like, no, he's taking us to a place where we're scared. When I was telling people, let's do singles, let's start doing streams. Hey, there's this new thing called Spotify is gonna become number one. When I was telling this to people 12 years ago, people were looking at me like, nah, people will go leave their house to buy a CD. And I was like, no, if all the music is there, they will have no reason to buy CDs or buy anything. They will buy a subscription and that's it. When I was saying this years ago, everybody was telling me, he's crazy, I'm leaving the label. They all left. I go, cool. Moved to Portugal. And now everybody's calling me crying. How do you make so much money? I said, because the things I was talking to you about, I prepared myself for them for the last 10 years. That's what I did. This is why I make so much money, because I own a huge catalog of songs, plus songs I did for other people, plus songs I did for TV, plus all the things I do that are not about fame, but about building the future and securing your future. Meaning that I disappear. Let's say I get hostage by whoever for 6 months, and I disappear. The money will still come in, whatever happens. And a lot of people now, they're trying to do it today, and they're like, oh, that's a lot of work. So yeah, it's gonna take you 10 years to arrive where I am. Oh, there's no shortcut. No, they're not. Oh my God, like if I knew, you knew. But you had a leader in front of you, but because you were people who feel, it felt bad to have somebody of your age or somebody younger than you that knew better than you and that had vision and leadership. And what did you guys do? You start doing what emotional people do. You start acting funny. And listen, maybe I'm just talking about my feelings, right? I'm not here to tell people how they should feel about the death of a queen. But Because a lot of people don't care about the crown, royalty, all that stuff. They just believe, listen, why are these people like up there, right? Why are these people taken as if like they're not humans like us? They pee and they poop like all of us. That's what a lot of people think. And in reality, yeah, it's true. But you know what? I come from that cloth. So maybe this is the reason why I feel that I lost a member of our club or our type of people, leaders, people who are just have exceptional destinies. And maybe I'm presumptuous, but this is just me telling you my feelings. And I completely accept and I completely don't think that it's a disagreement if people think differently. I believe that we all have to accept that we all are individualities and we will all think differently of different things. It's just that as I learned to know myself and learn to understand that it was wrong, it was a wrong attitude from me to try to fit in back then and try to be like everybody else, because I wanted to be accepted in the hip hop community, and I was scared that people find out that my parents had money and my dad was in politics, and because every time people would find out, they would say, "Oh, you're not like us," and they would push me away. So I started trying to fit in by just pretending, and it was a mistake. Like, humility is important, but deep down you have to know who you are, and you have to understand that leaders, visionaries, they don't come many, and it's often a lonely place. And every time I have conversations with people, it feels lonelier and lonelier. I had a conversation not so long ago with an artist about music industry, and listen, at the end of the conversation I was like, oh my god, that person will never make it. That person has no clue, but that person is so much in their feelings that person believes that she got it all figured out and etc., and then it's all about how I feel. And I was like, who are the people who are pushing you to believe that whatever you feel is the solution to the world? Like, the world is just real. Like, at a point, decisions by some people will affect our lives in a certain way, because of the laws, because of the rules, because of the economical landscape that it will create. That can be a place where we can build, or a place where it's harder to build. And those people must be rigorous. You don't take decisions that are gonna have an economic impact on the people if you don't understand economy. I understand economy because I went to fucking Sorbonne to learn economy. So I understand the concepts, and I read about it and I learn about it. So I understand, like, when in everything I go with an economist mind. So I'm not gonna just be there thinking about, oh, my art is amazing, my heart had to live, when I do art, listen, this is for people who do art or to sing in their bathroom. The real world, you're gonna need, when you create your art, to think about who is it for, who's gonna buy it, how you're gonna make money from it, how you're gonna feed your family. This is a more economic and pragmatic way of thinking. Most emotional people, they lack pragmatism, and they take us where we are going in a world full of emotional leaders. And listen, I really feel that either people don't care about the decisions they take, and they just lead us to the wall by just taking decisions that make the other people who vote for them or for whoever emotionally happy as well. And this is why nobody takes the hard decisions or the decisions that are unpopular. And then you have people acting like sheeps. You see them like all going one way. And yeah, that might be the reason why all these people, to stay in power, they have to cater to all that stupidity. But to people who have a little bit of vision, who have a little bit of common sense, you look at it and you're like, yo, like, there's no leaders anymore. And do I believe the world was better before? It's not really. Do I want like like Mobutu back in to lead Congo? Not. Somebody that has a stature, somebody that can really command respect, and also on the other side, people who are able to, even if they voted for somebody else, people who are able to respect what it means to be the leader of a country, and to be like, I didn't want vote for him, I don't really like his ideas, but listen, he's the president. And one of the last people in the world who was still able to command that was Queen Elizabeth. So maybe this is why I'm feeling like, oh my God, like she's the last one of them. Like now everybody else, nobody respect them because they don't command respect. And yeah, listen, I guess I'm gonna do what I've been doing, which is hide in the shadows and look, because I don't want to wear no crown.